his brilliant career, Larry Bird has done it all. He has achieved every possible honor in the game of basketball, including championships, awards, and the retirement of his jersey. But now he receives the game's ultimate honor as he takes his...
The basketball world froze when Larry Bird stepped into the spotlight and grabbed Caitlin Clark's microphone. During a live moment that nobody saw coming, the legendary Hall of Famer appeared to have a message. But what happened next left fans wondering if this was a simple gesture or something much bigger. Was Bird revealing a secret about Clark's future? Why did this moment instantly set the WNBA on fire? And what was the real reason behind it?
Breaking records every week. So part of the silliness of not allowing her on the Olympic team is she was a very quickly improving player, and now you kind of look silly. She's arguably the best playmaker in the league, arguably the second best three-point shooter in the league. I don't know, they seem valuable in Olympic competition, and she's not on the team. It cracks me up how they treat her.
Throughout sports history, certain voices have carried a level of authority that cannot be manufactured or demanded. They earn that respect through years of sacrifice, unforgettable performances, and moments that define generations.
Like the same thing they try to do to Angel Reese, now. And Angel don't even really say nothing about Caitlin Clark for real. But it just seemed like they act like Caitlin Clark is like untouchable when it comes to like a critique. Like, like you just can't say anything. So basically the same kind of treatment that, Larry Bird got back in the day. They try to do that now, for Caitlin. Right. And again, this same old playbook, same old racial, dynamic.
When those rare figures finally choose to speak, the world pays attention because their words are backed by a legacy. That has already proven itself. Few figures in basketball history represent that kind of influence. More than Larry Bird, a player whose name became synonymous with competitiveness, intelligence, confidence, and an unwillingness to accept anything less than excellence.
You see any correlation with Caitlin and Angel Reese, what they've done for the WNBA, as to what Magic and Bird did when they came in at the same time?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And, I'm sure that Larry and Irv used to laugh at, white against black.
Yeah. And they loved each other.
East Coast, West Coast, loved each other, and respected one another, and understood that this rivalry, this tension, whatever, it was for the betterment of the game, but they never got caught up into it.
Yeah.
And those two are the foundation of the great stories and narratives coming out of the NCAA.
Throughout his legendary career, Larry Bird built a reputation as one of the toughest competitors the sport had ever seen. He was never the type of athlete who depended on flashy celebrations, constant interviews, or carefully crafted public appearances to maintain his popularity.
For how the WNBA is built and how the NBA was built, and the NBA was struggling at the time until Magic Johnson came in and Larry Bird. So there's always going to be a controversy that's going to be in there, and you got to have that. And when Larry Bird came in the league rose up to the top. So when Caitlin Clark gets to the WNBA, it's going to be good for all WNBA players. Because I can tell you this, Money Mike, we always look at the money flow. And I can guarantee you Caitlin Clark is not going to be making $1.5 million a year.
Instead, Bird allowed his performance to create his identity, and his ability to deliver under pressure turned him into one of the most respected figures in basketball history. During his time with the Boston Celtics, Bird transformed himself from a highly anticipated prospect into a three-time NBA champion, a league MVP, and one of the defining faces of an entire era of basketball. His greatness was not only measured by his statistics or championships, but also by the mentality he brought to every game. Bird competed with a level of confidence that sometimes appeared impossible, and he developed a reputation for believing he could overcome any challenge placed in front of him. Decades after his playing career ended, Bird's influence continues to reach far beyond the basketball court, although he rarely seeks attention and has remained relatively private compared to many modern sports personalities. His opinions still discussion among basketball fans. The connection between these two basketball figures is not based on identical careers or the idea that one must become a copy of another. Instead, it comes from something deeper. Both athletes represent what happens when a player becomes more than just a competitor and starts carrying the expectations of an entire sport.
There's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark being an amazing shooter and just someone we're watching. Have you spoken to her? Do you know her? What do you think?
I've been watching from afar and understanding just how much of a power she is out there on the court. The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall,
Caitlin Clark entered the professional basketball world under circumstances that few athletes have ever experienced. Before she even played her first official WNBA game, she had already become one of the most recognized names in basketball. Her incredible college career at Iowa transformed her into a national sensation, attracting millions of viewers and introducing countless new fans to women's basketball. However, becoming the face of a sport comes with a level of pressure that most people never experience. Every performance becomes a major discussion, every mistake receives extra attention. Every achievement is examined from multiple perspectives. For Caitlin Clark, success did not simply bring praise and popularity. It also brought enormous expectations from fans who wanted to see her continue changing the game and critics. When Larry Bird joined the NBA in 1979, he was not viewed as an ordinary rookie. The Boston Celtics were a historic franchise that had fallen from its previous heights, and many people believed Bird could become the player who restored the organization's championship identity. The expectations surrounding him were enormous because fans wanted immediate proof that he was truly the superstar they had been promised.
Really think about it. They're trying to get her to pay her dues, but she's the one paying all the fees. She's the reason you're flying private. She's paying for everything, and you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue,
Instead of allowing that pressure to overwhelm him, Bird used it as motivation. He embraced the challenge of competing against the best players in the world and developed a reputation for delivering when the spotlight became the brightest. That mentality is one of the reasons many basketball fans believe Bird can understand what Caitlin Clark is experiencing today. Although the game has changed dramatically since Bird's era, the emotional challenges faced by elite athletes remain surprisingly similar. The higher a player climbs, the more people begin looking for reasons why they might fall. A player's confidence can be misunderstood. A competitor's intensity can be criticized. A superstar's popularity can create resentment. Every aspect of her game became part of a larger conversation. Her shooting ability, passing skills, competitive attitude, and leadership style were analyzed constantly because she represented something much bigger than a talented young player. She represented the possibility of a new era for women's basketball. The arrival of a player with that level of attention naturally creates excitement.
Y'all seen that meaty work that y'all claim she don't have. That's just another lie y'all be saying. Anyway, man, 24 points, 9 assists, and y'all know y'all love turnovers, man. 3 turnovers, man. It is amazing. And y'all still gonna find a way to hate. Oh, and we won. MVP, this is my MVP. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all be trying to, like, the first 5 games, y'all want to say, oh, this person get MVP and just leave it at that. No, we dominating. Y'all pathetic.
But it also creates challenges because every superstar must eventually prove that their success can continue beyond the initial excitement. The transition from college basketball to professional basketball is never simple. The opponents become stronger, the schedule becomes more demanding, and every player on the court is capable of exposing weaknesses. The reputation built before entering the league no longer guarantees success because professional basketball requires constant improvement and adaptation. That is why Caitlin Clark's journey has been so closely followed. Fans are not only watching her statistics, and that is limitations, criticized because of his confidence, and challenged by opponents who wanted to prove they could defeat him. Yet, instead of changing who he was, Bird doubled down on his strengths. He understood the game at an elite level. He trusted his preparation. He believed his competitiveness could overcome any disadvantage. Those qualities are the reason his legacy has lasted for generations, and those same qualities are what many fans recognize in Caitlin Clark. She has never played as someone trying to avoid attention. She plays with confidence because confidence has always been part of her identity as a competitor. She embraces difficult moments because difficult moments are where great players often separate themselves from everyone else.
I've said it many times, Caitlin is amazing. She's I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with a lot there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes...
That does not mean every fan will agree with every aspect of her journey. Superstars rarely create universal agreement. The biggest names in sports history have almost always created debate because attention naturally follows greatness. The same player who inspires millions can also become the subject of criticism from those who question whether the attention is justified. However, that debate is often part of what makes a player memorable. And that is exactly why the relationship between Larry Bird's legacy and Caitlin Clark's rise has become such an interesting storyline in basketball. The impact of a player like Caitlin Clark cannot go beyond statistics. They change conversations, attract new audiences, and create moments that introduce an entirely different generation of fans to the game. That is the type of impact many people believe Caitlin Clark is having on women's basketball. Her arrival in the WNBA did not happen in isolation. She entered a league that already had incredible talent, established stars, and a rich history built by players who spent years growing the sport. However, her popularity created a level of mainstream attention that brought new eyes to the league and encouraged more people to pay attention to the athletes who had already been competing at the highest level.
It must be cool to watch someone like her just start dominating. You're like, oh yeah, because everyone watched. I think last week that she broke the record, and it was like 4 million people watched that. It's just exciting.
Yeah, those are the numbers.
It's huge.
Yeah, she's obviously doing amazing. Her game speaks for itself. I think my favorite part is just women's basketball, women's sports really.
This situation creates an important conversation about how sports evolve. Every major league eventually reaches a moment when a player arrives and changes the way people view the competition. Sometimes that player is not simply the best